Keith isn't the only one who's easy. Remember that Academy Award-winning song? Yeah. I'm Easy from Nashville.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, keep trying to fix it, Tom, by the way. Don't let this show stop you.
He's breaking a sweat. It's only 7:05.
Yeah, we don't want to have to do subtitles here.
That's
All right. Pick your news.
Oh, I got an email from someone whose email name to me on AOL is Newsgirl.
Uh-huh.
And she said at the radio station she works at, they have a feature called Choose Your News, which is, at least it rhymes.
Alliterative,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's
well,
alliterative.
it's fine, except that I can't tell my joke. You can't pick your nose, so you can pick your nose.
Oh, that's true. Right.
I can't, so you can't choose your nose, so you can, it doesn't work that well. All right, listen, Larry.
You can choose your nose now, though.
Yeah, well, that's true, too.
All right. This is a new feature that you started a few days ago.
Pick your news. Liz and Larry Splitsville, China bug spray, Guinness says goodbye, Divine update, or New York undercover.
Working or not? This is, Tom? Yeah. But I need this one again? You still? How did you get this job? Keep working, keep working. We got to make this thing
I'm
work.
not going to say them again.
This is tough. Liz, hey!
We're hearing him better
I
than
guess
you.
he can get out of my back pocket. He said I got you 3 times. All right, I would go with the China story.
Yeah.
China?
Yeah.
China bug
the
spray?
bug spray.
Oh, it's the least interesting, but okay. You know,
Wise choice.
The 4th World Conference on Women is taking place in China. Hillary Clinton is there. You've got nothing now, right?
No, that's all right. Go ahead.
Okay. And China, of course, has been very difficult about this whole thing. They're, among other things that they're alerting their citizens to, is telling them that they should wear extra bug spray in case some flies or insects land on them and they're transmitting the AIDS virus that they may have picked up from the lesbians attending this conference, this women's conference, which is so, I mean, I'm sorry, what year are we in?
1540.
Yes,
right.
thank you.
Who wrote this? Jesse Helms?
Yeah.
Exactly. This is coming from, I got it in the paper right here. It's one of the things that the Chinese government is saying to their citizens.
Incredible.
It must be the year of the weasel.
That and they've got sheets and white towels and sheets at the ready throughout the whole conference, and it's really heavily guarded.
You know, usually for that level of intelligence you have to listen to a Mark Furman tape.
Yeah. But this is even better. They have all these white sheets at the ready in case women just decide to disrobe during this conference, because you know how we're just prone to do that.
No, it's the year of the moron.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
All right. Meantime, just...
Should have gone with Liz and Larry.
No, actually, I found that fascinating.
Big news. We got to talk about it. Splitsville for Liz and Larry. They're separating after, what, 7 years of marriage?
Is he the Wolfman, or did he sing for Alabama?
That's probably it.
I don't know, but she's counting the silver, I'll tell you that.
Speaking of big events, since we saw you last time, about 40,000 people, more than that probably, have attended the U.S. Open in Flushing Meadows, New York. Have you been?
I'm going tomorrow.
Going tomorrow?
Yeah.
Who's playing tomorrow?
Don't know.
Don't know yet.
Don't care.
Don't know yet. Just going.
Yeah.
We mentioned that because tennis is on a lot of people's minds with the U.S. Open, and it should be on yours if you're looking for a good aerobic tennis workout. Our FX personal trainer, Patricia Moreno, is over in Madison Square Park with some of the Runway Rangers who will be playing tennis in the park. Right, Patricia?
That's right, Tom. You know, the tennis U.S. Open is on, so a lot of more people are going to be inspired to go outside and play tennis instead of maybe going to the gym or go running. Well, it's not that great of an aerobic workout because there's so much starting and stopping. But when we come back, we're going to give you 8 tips, 8 ways to make your game more aerobic and more fat burning.
All right, good enough, Patricia. Thanks a lot.
She can get 50 cents from everybody going to work that way.
Indeed. Spencer Garbett's going to be getting quite a workout, too, today. This has the potential to be some spectacular visuals. He's about to go into the drink at the #1 site for freshwater diving in the country in High Springs, Florida, at Ginny Springs, about to do some underwater cave diving. Right, Spencer?
That is correct. We've been setting up all morning. I've been training all week. It's quite a wild ride. It's spectacular. It's hypnotizing. Our guide and expert is Wes Skiles, who's with us, who's shot for National Geographic and all over the world. We have a crew of people that's been setting up this morning, and we're going to take you a little underwater cavern adventure cave diving underneath in the Devil's Eye.
So we've got an underwater camera all set?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Good.
All the bells and whistles.
All
Why
right.
don't we just save trouble now and call his mother now?
She's out of town.
Right? We've had occasions when Spencer has been doing things like rappelling down the side of a mountain, and his mom faxes us from, I think she lives in, does she live in Florida? And she just says,
No, she's in New York where we don't get it.
oh,
so,
okay.
Luckily.
And she'll say, you know, you don't want to wake up in the morning to see your son putting his life in danger. JD's in Boulder, Colorado, and he's with the Back to Basics Blankenship family. They do camping the real old-fashioned way. John?
So, Mr. Murdoch, really, if I could stay out here another week. Hey, Tom.
Hi, John.
We have some Stone Age communications happening out here on location, but that's appropriate because we're here camping with the Blankenship family, and they camp just like our Stone Age ancestors. If you notice, they have no tents, no sleeping bags, none of the modern amenities that we're used to using when we go camping. And we're going to find out how we can relearn how to get close to Mother Earth and back to nature and experience the wilderness the way our ancestors did.
With cell phones. Are they?
That's right.
Are they sleeping in there?
They went to sleep in the Stone Age, and they woke up in Hollywood. We have a satellite truck and lights and everything else.
By the way, later on in the show, the Blankenship family will start their car with their feet. It's great. Thanks, JD.
And they'll put the cat out and he'll jump right back in the window. Just no pain. Forgot the book.
Oh.
Okay. I noticed you've marked passages.
Well, it's really incredible in that the boy wonder was pretty busy off the set, according to this book. And this is a quote that I want to ask him about, and we've mentioned it on the show before, that Adam West, who's been with us a few times, Batman, said there is enough baloney in Burt Ward's book to open a deli. So we'll find out about that, too.
Yeah, I just want to correct myself, too. Liz and Larry have been married 4 years, not 7. I was giving them way too much credit.
But in Liz's marriage years, that is 7. Yeah.
He went the distance, I'd say. Yeah. Right now, let's take a look at some of today's top stories.
Good morning, everyone. Here's what's happening. U.S.-led NATO air attacks on Bosnian Serbs are entering a second day. UN officials say the raids will continue as long as the Serbs' heavy weapons continue to threaten Sarajevo. Meanwhile, the search continues for 2 French pilots shot down over Bosnia yesterday. This morning's scheduled launch of the Space Shuttle Endeavour is a no-go. NASA officials scrubbed the liftoff because of an overheated fuel cell. No new launch date has been scheduled. And an update on that leg found in the rubble of the bombed-out Oklahoma City Federal Building. A coroner says it belongs to an unidentified black woman. Initial analysis indicated the leg was a light-skinned male's. The new results contradict attorney for Timothy McVeigh, who had said the leg belonged to, quote, the real bomber. The death toll now stands at 169. And finally, 7 may not be the lucky number for Liz Taylor. The New York Post reports the Hollywood legend and her 7th husband, Larry Fortinsky, are splitting up. The 63-year-old actress says she hopes it's only temporary. Well, that's a quick look at what's making news now. Here's Jim with the weather.
And every butcher and candlestick maker in Baker, Oregon should bask in the beauty of the spiky yellow ball. But I'd be wearing a lightweight raincoat in Coatesville, Indiana, which is right over here, okay? Because it's in this big area that goes from like North Texas and central Oklahoma all the way into New England, a big line of thunder showers. Also, still more showers in Florida. They probably just about had it. A little bit in South Texas, and of course that Arizona-New Mexico border, just on the other side of the mountains there. More rain. Let's look at those high temperatures. Okay, it would be easy to go for the little puppy dog here, all right? But if you look at it upside down, I turn around it upside down, it's Florida, and that's the weather.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just promise me we're going to have some rain here soon. Yeah, this drought is killing. We're going to talk about biofeedback. Dr. Ron is all hooked up over there. Now, this is the functions in your body like your digestion and your heart rate and your blood pressure. And for years, scientists believed that they could not be voluntarily regulated. But thanks to biofeedback and a lot of modern technology, they now can be. I thought that was Bob making noises. I really did. I thought that was Bob making noises, but it's not. It is the...
Ron's brain is impersonating a Wookiee.
Dr. Ron Hoffman is joining us with Julie Weiner, who's Julie Weiner, a biofeedback specialist. So I think we should first of all talk about exactly what biofeedback is.
Good question. Biofeedback is the use of instruments to give people continuous information about some aspect of their physiology that may be dysregulated. For example, if you have tension headaches, chances are what you're doing is inadvertently bracing muscles, and biofeedback instruments can show you when your muscles are more tense and when they're more relaxed, you can learn gradually to get yourself more and more relaxed.
Tension
Yes, he does. Now let's talk about
Many stressors cause tension
where
headaches.
Dr. Ron is hooked up and what we're seeing on the...
Okay, this instrument is a special form of biofeedback called neurofeedback, where we're measuring brainwave changes. When your brain is working, which is all the time, if we put sensors on the scalp, we pick up an electrical signal. And this instrument does a quick mathematical analysis of the signal to break it into components. And what he's trying to do is to make this blue line go higher.
He's not doing a very good job. He's been trying that for about 3 minutes.
Think about baseball, Ron.
Now, what is the blue line?
The blue line is a particular band of wavelengths. The brain can be, the waves can be divided into different lengths. That is, this is 12 to 15 cycles per second, 12 to 15 hertz. And we use 12 to 15 second feedback to help people with attention deficit disorder and with epilepsy and with other problems that the brain regulates.
But would the colors represent different parts, like his anxiety, his heart, you know? What are we
No, we're just looking at different wavelengths.
Oh, okay.
So the red one is delta. That's what'll be high when you're asleep. And it also goes high. It's an artifact maybe of his
He's pretty
high
much
muscle
out right
tension.
now,
Yeah.
is what you're saying.
He's still a little sleepy.
Actually, he's like this most of the time.
On the right here, we're measuring very high frequency waves that come from the muscles. So he's turning his head, so it's a little hard for him to keep that down. But here, now he's got them both a little bit lower.
All right, now why would
This
you
is
want to
theta. When
regulate
you're on the edge of sleep, that's higher. And very often with kids with attention deficit disorder, epilepsy, it's really helpful to get that lower, to help them be more alert and awake. So he's really trying to get this theta down. This is alpha. We'd want that to go up in people with problems with anxiety and over-arousal. Alcoholics, drug addicts are often taking medication really because they can't get that high enough naturally.
And he is trying to regulate these things himself within his
Right
own
now,
body?
what he's trying to do just by watching the feedback is increase this one. That's the SMR. And I've given him instructions to imagine that he's heavy and hollow, like a big hollow stone, just
Like a
very
producer.
quiet and still. With kids with attention deficit disorder, you want them to
Like
learn
Bob.
to sit still
Yeah.
and be just focused attention, attentive but quiet and relaxed.
So ultimately you can do this
And-
without the use of the machine. You can
Right.
sort of-
Ultimately, by becoming a little more flexible, by practicing to increase this and decrease those, by being more flexible, his brain will start regulating itself normally during the day. The wonderful advantage of EEG biofeedback is that it's a skill, and once you've learned a skill, you don't lose it. You don't start falling off a bicycle even 20 years after you learn to ride a
It
bicycle.
seems to me a lot like meditation.
Yeah, it does sound like meditation.
Very similar. In fact, it's really one way of teaching the skill of meditating. We would probably, if we were teaching somebody meditation, we'd want him to increase alpha, this one.
Okay. Julie, thank you very much for coming in. Yeah,
Oh, you're
Julie
welcome.
Weiner.
Is it
Dr.
Windows
Ron, thank you for
95
your
compliant?
contribution to this segment. He sat there. Thank you very much.
He was real good at that, too, wasn't he?
It was. Later in the show, Dr. Ron will attempt to manipulate the computer's musical sounds to play Swanee River with his hands. What else, Jim?
The strange things you see in underwater caverns. And Bob Keeshan, not as good as a wink. Coming up on Breakfast Time.
Vex presents Uncle Jack, Wilderness Mathematician.
I once whooped me 5 lumberjacks.
Count on Uncle Jack on Grizzly Adams, weekends only on FX.
This is it, folks. Bottom of the ninth. Esty looks in for a sign. Swung on. A towering drive to center field. What?
California grapes, the natural snack.
He's not an infant anymore.
Down here.
He's not yet a big boy.
Here we go.
He's a toddler.
There we go.
Too big for a bottle, not big enough for a glass. This is just right. Next Step Toddler Formula from the makers of Enfamil.
Smile big.
Specially designed for toddlers with the Iron Cow's Milk Lax.
Oh, boy.
After the bottle, before the milk. Next Step Toddler Formula. In soy, too.
Fact, over 800,000 automobile crashes occur in the rain each year. Fact, the Subaru Legacy is equipped with all-wheel drive, the ultimate safety feature. Fact, Compared to front-wheel drive, the Subaru all-wheel drive system provides the driver with superior control and better handling on rain-slick surfaces. A fact that's very comforting indeed. Now buy a new Legacy with 1.9% financing or lease for just $199 a month.
Saturday on Lost and Found, she broke his heart in junior high.
Terry was the light of my life.
Now he's giving her a chance to mend it. Hooking up the planet one reunion at a time. Lost and Found, Saturday 8, 7 Central, only on FX.
Isn't it about time you took that summer vacation?
Oh, but I'm broke now.
Don't sweat it. FXM Movies from Fox presents a special offer in August, our summer value vacations. Now here's our lovely FXM travel agent with all the details.
Our exciting itinerary takes you to exotic locations.
I'm going to marry Mademoiselle and take Mademoiselle to the moon.
You don't even need a reservation.
Is that a fact?
We'll get you all the way to Europe with no jet lag.
Understand?
On our cruises, you'll never get seasick. With the FXM Summer Value Vacation, you'll never stand in line for the best drama, action, comedy, musicals, and romance. And you'll be shown all these sights by a star-studded array of tour guides.
And I'm at your service.
Well, there you have it. The places, the stars, the movies. FXM gives you a hassle-free summer value vacation direct from the source, the 20th Century Fox Studios in Hollywood.
It was worth the trip.
In August, it's a big-screen summer vacation every day on FXM Movies from Fox. Contact your local cable operator today.
It's 19 minutes past the hour. Welcome back to Breakfast Time with Laurie, Tom, Bob the Puppet, and me, Jim. I am the announcer. And here's Laurie, Bob, and Tom.
And the Coram family from
the Brown
family from Coram, New York. Hi, Coram out in Long Island, right? Do you guys hear the fires at all?
Yeah. Oh, here, let me give you a microphone. But, you know, not hearing people is sort of our theme. There you go.
And we're proud of that.
The fires weren't near you?
No, the fires weren't, so out east.
All right. Let's introduce the whole gang here. If you would do the honors, Dad.
Okay, this is my wife, Joanne.
Who wrote us? Joanne, welcome.
Yay.
You watch us on TCI Cable?
We love TCI.
Who else you got?
My daughter, Megan.
Megan, hello.
Megan.
Hey, Christine.
Hello, Christine.
My son, Robert.
Hello, Robert.
Hey, Robert.
My son, Keith.
Hello, Keith.
Hey, Keith.
And a traveling Pachuca.
The
traveling
Pachuca.
Danny Pachuca. He's the cousin. Now, I just had this one thing funny. I saw that Joanne describes Wayne as, she likes to describe him as a sensitive man.
Is that right? What's an example of him being a sensitive man?
Don't get too familiar there,
No, he's very understanding, and he listens.
Yeah.
Which is,
You're kidding.
Which all women don't.
You know what would be interesting?
I think this would be interesting. Pretty good, yeah.
Let's make sure we don't break down the computer software. All right. What we're going to do is, if you're up for this, we want to see how sensitive and how well you listen. We'll hook you up to that equipment that Dr. Ron had on his head.
The biofeedback.
And then we'll just have you talk to him about some current family concern that you feel comfortable airing in front of the nation. And we'll see if you're actually listening.
Can we shock him? Can we shock him?
You want to try this? Let's see if he really listens.
All right, we're going to send Wayne and Joanne down to get all hooked up for biofeedback while Jim tells you how exactly you can be one of the people to join us for breakfast.
It starts when you write us at Breakfast Time, P.O. Box 825, Madison Square Station, New York, New York, 10159-0825. Or you call us at 1-800-FXFXFX1. Or you fax us at 212-802-4208. Or you email us at fxbreakfast@delphi.com. Then you let us know when you're going to be in the New York area. And who knows, you may be invited up to have breakfast on Breakfast Time.
Jim, you're going to help me on this one. I don't know whether this was fair to do to Wayne, but you know and I know, and every guy here has to admit that at one time or another we have this, we look like we're listening thing down. Right? When our significant other is talking to us and we're going,
I'm sorry, are you talking to me?
Yeah. So we'll find out if he's really listening. Let's welcome to the apartment. He's getting his bat mic on, Burt Ward.
Yeah.
His pants are down. Well, that's what the whole book's about. Okay. Hello, Burt. How are you? I'm Tom.
Hello, citizen. How are you?
I'm fine.
Gee willikers, what a bat thrill.
Go. All right. So we'll let you get in your bat mic.
Yeah, I'm getting in my skivvies and my costume I'm going to put underneath in case there's any crime here on the show.
Yes, well, that's...
I think there's a crime already started.
Yeah, no kidding. At 7 o'clock Eastern it started today. All right, Burt Ward is here with us. My Life in Tights is his book. And right now, Spencer Garbett joins us. He is in High Springs, Florida. Actually, he is in the water in Ginny Springs. I don't know that he'll be able to hear us that well, so we're going to pretty much turn it over to him. He is underwater cave diving at what Scuba Magazine says is the #1 site for freshwater diving in the country. All right, Spencer, we hear you breathing. Either that or we've accidentally got a 900 number. We're looking...
Our guy is West Kyle 2008. He does work with the police department, and he will be in the yellow tank. I will be in the orange tank.
Orange tank.
And we're entering into the cave. Tell us about this flood that we're experiencing, Wes. Well, we're experiencing right now an incredible amount of flow. Just trying to find our way down here.
Spencer has been training for this all week, by the way, with these
Flood that we're
professional...
experiencing that's making it so difficult to get down. Look at this, Spencer. This is an incredible passageway, a cathedral that leads deep into the earth. This passageway goes over a mile of the earth underneath the Santa Fe River here in High Springs. A lot of people think that caves are really unsafe, but actually, in fact, they're formed because of water rushing through, kind of like the Grand Canyon was formed. And in addition to that, it's worn away everything that is weak. So the only thing left is strong. So there's really no likelihood of an actual collapse.
Again, Spencer is wearing the orange tank. He is attempting to speak to us between breaths.
We're entering a very high flow pattern. We need to be very careful. You can feel the current is actually pulling. This is one of the dangers of cave diving, isn't it, Wes? Yes, this is one of the most dangerous sports on the planet because it's deceptively easy, you know. People think that when they get in here that they'll be okay, but it's incredibly easy to get lost, lose your way, run low on air, or become trapped. Right, that's very important to be training because I've been trained. I'm now certified. For the past 4 days I've been training every single day because so much can happen to you when you're down here. So it's important to get proper training. If you are a certified scuba diver, you do not have the proper training to be down to about 7 or 8 other divers. So don't try this, definitely. All right, now we need to make a decision here, Spencer. We've gone quite a ways, and if we'd like to, we can go head out for another entrance, but we should check our air, make sure that we can make it all the way. Okay, go for it. Go for it. That's called a traverse, right? Right. You want to make sure that you say...
Well, we're aware that listening to it is difficult, but the visuals are worth the effort here.
Exactly. Okay, what's this part up here that we're entering into? This is, as you're going to see, a very tight restriction. We'll have to try to negotiate our way through this small passageway. Hopefully make it up here successfully. See the light and the devil's eye.
Spencer and his guests are diving in Ginny Springs in High Springs, Florida, underwater caves there that are rated among the best in the country by diving and has been training with them. Again, we're cognizant of some of the audio problems, but again, we want to stay with it just for the visual wonder of being underwater there in clearly tight confines. Spencer, in what I was able to hear, talking about the dangers inherent in doing that without the proper training. And we'll get back to them, see if we can clear up the audio just a bit better.
Also,
for our
you
next
shouldn't
bit.
do it alone, too.
Yeah, no kidding, no kidding. Great stuff, great visuals from under High Springs, Florida. Burt Ward, welcome.
Yeah. Well, thank you, citizen.
Yes. We, of course, we have Batman on. How many times a day are we running Batman now?
16.
16, 20 times a day.
And that's before breakfast.
That's right. So it's a pleasure to have you here. It's
great to be here.
Talking about your book.
Yeah, I know. I was down in the dressing room, and I'm sitting there, and the first thing I hear is a quote that you said
From
of
Adam.
Adam.
Yeah. So how do you, let me give the quote if you're just joining us. Adam West said of Burt's book, there's enough baloney in this to open a deli. So how do you respond to that?
I say, listen, that's very funny.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he has to say that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because if I were married to the same lady for the last 20-some-odd years and all this stuff was going on, I'd probably be saying it too.
Okay. All right. He's got his cowl in a twist. That's what's going on.
It's more fun believing Robin.
Holy damage control at home.
Yeah, no kidding. Adam West opens for the Spin Doctors later. Laurie?
No kidding. I just want to say, I don't know, Tom, if you dive, but what Spencer was doing down there, even the effort of talking while you're trying to regulate your breathing underwater is incredible. We should really just, hats off to him. That was terrific stuff. I'm here with the Brown family. Wayne Brown is all hooked up to the biofeedback machine, and Joanne is rapidly trying to think of something that she can tell him that he will have to listen to and react calmly to.
Oh, you know what? Ask maybe if she can talk to him about the first date or something that would evoke memories. Do you remember the anniversary? Things like that. We can think
just tell him about your needs and wants.
We'll do all that coming up, but right now, a little word of wisdom from Bob Keeshan, Captain Kangaroo.
St. Francis said, don't care what others think of what you do, but care very much about what you think you do.
St. Francis said that?
Yeah, he was a sissy, though.
Yeah. Thank you, Jim. More with the Browns, more with Burt Ward, and what else is coming up, Jim?
Parents budget their kids for college, but can college kids make budgets work for themselves? Find out about Robin on Breakfast Time.
Who won? Who lost? And who got knocked out of them? Need an update of the week in sports? Then tune in to FX for one live hour of the hottest smashes, crashes, and personality clashes. Sunday, September 3rd, FX kicks off the season with a new show from the producers of Fox Sports. FX, the sports show. Watch it Sunday.
Leanne Bryant relies on a lot of things to help her test new outdoors equipment. Experience, knowledge, strength, and CompuServe. She joined CompuServe when she started her own business and found ways to work smarter. Through CompuServe, she meets other experts in her field. She books her own travel to save time. And she stays a step ahead of the weather. And when she has a question about software, CompuServe has the answer. For a free CompuServe membership kit, call 1-800-554-4095. Start with the basics, news, travel, and encyclopedia, and more for just $9.95 a month, and your first month is free. CompuServe, the information service you won't outgrow.
Now on CompuServe, you can get full internet access with just the touch of a button. You can surf the net for 3 hours absolutely free as a part of your $9.95 monthly membership fee. That's the lowest cost anywhere. Call today for details.
So sweet. So irresistible. A temptation you can't resist. California grapes, the natural snack.
If you want big, we mean big muffins that are moist and fluffy and chocolatey and this easy to bake. You want Duncan Hines' big new chocolate chip muffins. Duncan Hines, hot stuff.
She's at that certain age. She's not an infant anymore. She's not quite a young lady. She's a toddler. Too big for a bottle, not big enough for a glass. This is just right. Next Step Toddler Formula from the makers of Enfamil. Specially designed for toddlers with the iron cow's milk lax. Here, sweetheart. After the bottle, before the milk. Next Step Toddler Formula. In soy, too.
FX gets you ready for school Labor Day weekend with a night of jocks, class clowns, and nerds. There's F extracurricular activities.
Sports.
Like F Extra Sports Show premiere. A live recap of the day's plays.
Homie don't play that.
Comedy.
Means back-to-back class clowns within living color.
You like that, wouldn't ya?
Movie.
Pack your pocket protectors for Revenge of the Nerds 3.
I'm back.
Spend the Sunday before Labor Day with FX Class. Jocks, class clowns, and nerds. Sunday starting at 8, only on FX.
It's 28 minutes to the top of the hour. Welcome back to Breakfast Time with Tom, Laurie, Bob the Puppet, and me, Jim. I'm the announcer, and here's Laurie.
Very very much. Burt Ward is having a little breakfast, reading the
Delicious.
paper. Good, glad to hear it.
Wowie zowie.
We'll be talking to Burt in just a couple minutes about his new book, My Life in Tights. But if you read USA Today this morning, you will see that Money Magazine has just put out their list of the best bargain colleges that you can go to, the schools that offer the most for the least amount of tuition. But that's all well and good. After the tuition is paid, however, you still have to pay all your bills for the whole year, and that's why we've asked Brooke Stephens, our financial expert, to help college kids get that budget going. We've got two of our interns, Megan and Allison, who are heading back to school, and they're going to get some tips on how to balance their budget. So how do kids get in trouble in the first place?
The main thing that happens is credit cards and long-distance phone bills.
Yeah.
They're getting them at registration now. You know, this used to be reserved for freshmen. Freshmen are getting them now. It used to be just for seniors, but anybody can have one.
No
If you could put $500 into a savings account, you get a credit card, right? But you've got to remember, this is only for emergencies. It's not the replacement of daddy's allowance if they won't give you any money. The other thing, too, is the long-distance phone bills.
Yeah.
$100 a month is easy because they forget that, you know, they have to pay it now,
Well,
and they're homesick.
my first lesson in college was that when they send you a phone bill, they actually expect it to get paid.
Right, yes,
Oh,
yes.
I'm going to pay this.
Sure.
They've got some
And
nerve, haven't
and
they?
you never had to do that before.
Otherwise, they cut you off. And I learned that the hard way.
But the main thing for everybody to do to make sure you stay out of trouble is this. First, look at what have you got coming in.
Okay, I'm going to give you guys this.
Yes.
You can share it between
We
you
put
if you want
together-
to add something or ask a question.
Yeah, we got a notebook, and everybody should do this. This is the best way to start learning some rules about how to manage your money. Write it down. If you see it on paper, what's coming in? Grants, loans, tuition, bills,
This is what you got to work with
savings,
every month.
part-time job. This is what you've got to work with. And then what are you going to do with it? Where's it got to go? Set some priorities. You know you've got to pay tuition. You've got to pay room and board. That phone bill is not going to go away. Books, supplies, laundry, eating
Laundry's
out.
low on the list.
Yeah. Hey, ship it home if you can.
The cost of a keg occasionally. Yeah.
What? Oh, no. But the main thing is keep up with what are you doing every day. I know this may look like something nobody wants to do, but carry it around with you. Try and write down what are you spending, whether it's toothpaste, chewing gum, newspaper, bus tokens, a Coke,
You're
a
right,
hamburger.
it does seem like a lengthy thing to do, but I
It's
have done that.
tedious.
And once you get in the habit of doing it,
Yeah.
you know, you just sort of
It's
jot
so
it down.
easy.
And boy, do you ever realize what
Yeah.
you spent.
You begin to build a pattern in your head and you see where it's going. I mean, you know what the room and board is, you know what the tuition is, but this is the mystery money, and this is how it disappears so quickly, and you forget. But the best way that you can save money and cut down on your expenses is prepay whatever you can.
Yeah.
Pay off the tuition. Pay the room and board. Then look at what you've got left and divide it over the number of months. So you've got 6 months that money's got to last, make it last. Buy used textbooks.
I was going to say that by use, and there's always lists that people are writing down what they want to sell their old textbooks.
Yeah.
You can sell back your old books.
Yeah.
Right.
You can sell back
Yeah.
your old books, make some more money. You're right.
And limit your phone calls home
Right.
to requests for more money.
I was trying to
Well,
talk,
get a cheap long
hold on
distance
just a sec,
phone card.
I was trying to ask you, but
Yeah.
clearly we're still having mic problems. You're seniors. You're both going to be seniors. What advice do you have for the freshmen coming in from your own personal battles?
I had major phone bill problems.
Yeah.
I had my phone cut off a couple times. So I just say, I got to the point where I would call my parents to collect, and I would say my name, and they would just say no and call me back. So I never,
Okay.
it was always on there.
We don't advocate that.
No, that's not something, breaking the law like that isn't something we suggest people do.
Heavens, no.
How about you, Megan?
I just
Use
call
the
my
microphone.
I just call my parents, and then I just have them call me right back.
Yeah.
So it's mostly
What
on their
happens
bill.
when what do your parents say when you call and ask for extra money?
They kind of laugh.
I think they
Funny.
expect
It's
it.
like pulling teeth. I
Yeah, but it's
remember.
hysterical laughter.
Yeah, so you think the phone bill for the first couple of years was like your strongest problem?
Absolutely.
Really?
I would suggest you get a prepaid phone bill. You know, those cards that you
Call
can buy
cards.
now. A calling card with, say, $50 on it, and then you will know that's all you've got for a certain period of time. That can take care of that problem. Shopping off campus at cheaper supply places helps.
Definitely.
Buying things in bulk. Go to the financial aid office and see if you're getting all that you're entitled to. You may be qualified for some additional loans or grants that you don't know anything about.
All right, Brooke Stephens with some
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
helpful advice
Great.
about, and good luck in college. Good luck, you guys. You did good
And
work.
parents, say no when they call.
Oh, Brooke! We don't advocate that either.
How about a little mailbag music maestro? We going
Oh,
news
no,
first?
good news first.
But we got such good letters. Well, we got pretty good news, too. And here's Vernon with that.
Good
morning, everyone. Here's what's making news. American women may have a new abortion option. Researchers say the combination of 2 legal prescription drugs could allow women to safely and effectively end pregnancies at home. The study is published in today's New England Journal of Medicine. More jury problems at the O.J. Simpson trial. The Los Angeles Times reports a juror asked to be excused yesterday, but was persuaded to stay by being promised that the case would end in just a few weeks. Meanwhile, the jury gets another day off today as Judge Edel still considers how to handle the controversial Mark Furman tapes. In U.S. Open action, men's top seed Andre Agassi and women's second seed Monica Seles are highlight matches today. Agassi takes on Spaniard Alex Corretja after Seles faces Erica DeLone. And finally, it seems life is just divine for Divine Brown, the Hollywood prostitute caught with actor Hugh Grant. Brown has been raking in the dough ever since the incident. Now, one of her latest coups, a $10,000 paycheck for appearances at 3 Tampa radio stations. Oh, by the way, Brown says her prostitution days are now a thing of the past. Well, that's a quick look at what's making headlines now. Here's Jim with the weather.
Is the Starsky out tonight? It would be if he's in Hutchinson, Minnesota, and the spiky yellow ball will be out with him today. But you can get your feet wet in Barefoot Bay, Florida. Continuing thunder showers there. And then there's this big band of thunder showers that goes from New England all the way down into North Texas through Oklahoma there, across the Great Lakes. A little bit along the Arizona-New Mexico border again, and a little bit in South Texas. Let's look at those high temperatures. And we got the little puppy dog looking up for a bone. That's the weather.
Yeah. Is that what that is?
We were wondering.
Yeah.
Little mailbag music now, please.
Just time for one from Ann Wines in Shelby, Montana, addressing the concerns of our East Coast and Central Time Zone viewers that we're moving to 10 o'clock Eastern next Monday. On Labor Day, we'll be live across the country on breakfast time starting Monday. Dear Tom and Laurie, this is to reassure your East Coast viewers that your upcoming time change can be survived. Recently, my workday was adjusted, forcing me to miss breakfast time's live broadcast. I have to tape it to watch when I get home. Believe it or not, there are advantages. Number 1, you can zap the stupid FX Dream promos. Number 2, you can pause the program when you have to answer the phone to hang up on another sales pitch. And number 3, you can replay the good parts like noted producer Paul Shabelson pummeling the puppet. We should all be able to deal with annoying co-workers in a similar fashion. So hang in there, East Coast. Life is full of changes. At least this is a change we can live with. We certainly hope that's true for you as well.
Coded producer, by the way.
Actually, I caught Paul in his office replaying that moment on his VCR.
He watches it over and over and over and over.
And you get a T-shirt, so does anybody else whose fax, letter, or email we use on the air.
Jim?
That's right. We write, and it begins when you write to us at breakfast. I'm doing my even. Works. Write to us at Breakfast Time, P.O. Box 825 Madison Square Station, New York, 10159-0825. Or call us at 1-800-FX-FX. Or fax us at 212-802-4208. Or email us at fxbreakfast@delphi.com. And Tom said if we read it on the air, we mail you the T-shirt in the mail.
Yay. We sure will.
We'll mail it to you in the mail, we will. The mail is where we'll mail it to you. Another hand for Burt Ward. Robin. Batman. The original Robin. Hey, what did you think? Did you see Batman Forever?
Yes, I did.
When Chris O'Donnell did a holy thing.
And that was the best part of the movie. I'll tell you something. Yeah. Your parent Fox, they're the greatest. I mean, I love doing the show, and nobody can touch what they did. Really.
Yeah. Let's hear it for our bosses.
We love our immediate superiors.
The show ran for 120 episodes.
Yes.
Is it from 66 until 69?
Right.
And you were really a babe in the woods when you were cast as Robin.
A totally innocent kid, came in at age 20. I really had no experience. I had studied acting, but I had never done anything before. Yeah. And I met Adam West, who immediately introduced me to the seediest side of Hollywood. And we had a very wild and crazy time. I mean, beyond anything.
Yeah, it's a wonder you're not a walking petri dish at this point.
Yes, walking dust.
A walking petri dish?
Let me ask you about the first day filming, because you talked about...
It was a very dangerous show shooting Batman. It really was dangerous. I had never been in an emergency hospital, and in the first episode, which was 5 days to make each episode, the first 4 days, I was in the hospital every day. I mean, I had really very dangerous things.
Yeah.
And their policy on Batman was that whenever there was anything really dangerous, you know, perhaps even life-threatening, always use Burt.
And it was interesting, you write about the reason for that. And number one, in medium to close shots, you would be recognized if it was your stunt person because he had that little mask.
Why did they hire somebody that was 15 years older than me and didn't even look like me? I mean, that's
and the stunt people were more expensive to use than you were.
$1,000 a stunt. I was $350 a week plus hospital bills. I mean, you know, what a bargain.
Fairly reasonable. Now, in this book, and given that we like to think of ourselves as a family show, even though we're arguably a dysfunctional family bringing it to you, it's a fairly sexually explicit book.
It's not just that. The sex stuff is only 17%. It is explicit in terms of everything that really went on that people never knew. I mean, I reveal all the secrets that were hidden from the public, from the dangers and the explosions, to the fights, fist fights, vendettas, feuds, and of course there is a superhero sex with young fans. It is intense. It is a book that is from the heart. It's a coming-of-age book. And yes, I mean, everything is intense. The violence is intense. I mean, the craziness is intense.
Now, what was the deal when the Green Hornet and Kato showed up? Bruce Lee and
well, our executive producer, William Dozier, was producing the Green Hornet, and he brought Bruce Lee and Van Williams on as a guest on our show to help launch their show.
But they refused to lose the fight to you and Batman? Is that's
oh, there was a lot of hope. Let me explain something. I'm a black belt in karate, and and Bruce Lee and I lived in the same condominium complex. We got together all the time. We sparred, which is the fighting techniques. And I must tell you that what we did on Batman was a very tame performance compared to what we really did when we were not on camera. But Bruce Lee's very first filmed fight scene was with me before all of his movies.
Well, that's cool.
Kind of an interesting anecdote. And we were very dear friends. I mean, we went out together. Our families went out together. And I remember when Brandon was first born. I mean, it's very touching. It goes back a lot of years for me.
Let me ask how you and Adam West get along now.
I love Adam. I really do love Adam. I never have had more fun in my life than with Adam West. Granted, he introduced me to wild sexual debauchery. Granted, we became like two hungry sharks in a world of unlimited halibut. But wait, halibut? What's the problem? There's no problem with halibut, is there? But the point being is that, I mean, my life would never have been as happy without. You're fanning yourself? Is it hot in here?
It's warm in here all of a sudden.
Holy, hot under the collar. But you know. Very wild time those 3 years, and we went out for 20 years afterwards and promoted the television series through our personal appearances, and we hold arena records in like 18 arenas around America, outdrew any rock bands. I mean, in Detroit, 187,000 paid attendance. So anyway, my book details all the good, all the bad, all the ugly, everything, and I purposely intended not to put anything in the book that people knew. I mean, this is 320 pages of explosive
You've got stuff
realism.
in here that isn't in the Kama Sutra.
It's a conservative, wait a minute, it's a conservative body of work.
Oh, yeah, sure it is. Burt Ward in his book, Boy Wonder, My Life in Tights.
Wowie zowie.
Now, stick around, because I understand you speed read up to 30,000 words a minute.
I did. That was a test as the world's fastest reader.
Well, we'll put you to that test.
Yeah, you have to read that fast and you have no time for anything.
Well, I'm very busy with my hands full, you know.
All that and what else is coming up, Jim?
Tennis is hard, but not aerobic, unless you do it Patricia's way. Making tennis good for your heart. Coming up on Breakfast Time.
Sugar and spice.
I will kill you.
And everything nice.
I love your desk. The tusks. They're so you.
That's what Dynasty's little girls are made of.
Oh my God, what is it with you women?
Dynasty. Weekdays at 9 Eastern, noon Pacific, only on FX.
This is it, folks. Bottom of the ninth. Esty looks in for a sign. Swung on. A towering drive to center field.
What? California grapes, the natural snack.
Mentadent users, ask your dentist about Arm & Hammer Peroxycare.
Our dentist gave us a reason to try a different baking soda and peroxide toothpaste.
Arm & Hammer Peroxycare.
The reason?
More baking soda.
2 out of 3 dentists recommend baking soda for healthy teeth and gums. And only Peroxycare's patented formula gives you 10 times more baking soda than Mentadent.
No other baking soda and peroxide toothpaste gives us as much.
Arm & Hammer Peroxycare, serious care for healthy teeth and gums. And now try new Arm & Hammer Peroxycare Tartar Control.
Sure, I have secrets. Of course, some are juicier than others. Like my secret for onion burgers. Lipton Recipe Secrets Onion. A delicious blend of toasted onion and seasonings. Lipton Recipe Secrets. I'm a better cook with it than without it.
He's not an infant anymore.
Down here.
He's not yet a big boy.
Here we go.
He's a toddler.
There we go.
Too big for a bottle, not big enough for a glass. This is just right. Next Step Toddler Formula from the makers of Enfamil.
Smile big.
Specially designed for toddlers with the Iron Cow's Milk Lac.
Oh boy.
After the bottle, before the milk. Next Step Toddler Formula. In soy, too.
Is your pet lifeless, listless, woofless? Rejuvenate your pet daily on FX at the Pet Department Spa. Your pet will discover the value of vigorous exercise and a high-fiber diet. Journey with spiritual leader Steve, our pet guru. Learn enlightening remedies from Dr. Larry, and don't forget material pleasures. We've got what's hot. Get pampered with body massage, maybe a new do, and meet fascinating friends in group therapy. Don't stress, relax with the Pet Department every day at 3:30, 2:30 Central on FX. See the benefits.
12 minutes to the top of the hour. Welcome back to Breakfast Time with Laurie, Tom, Bob the Puppet, and me, Jim. I'm the announcer, and here's Laurie and Bob and Tom.
By the way, earlier we hooked Wayne Brown, one of our visiting family members, up to the computer biofeedback machine because Joanne said he was such a good listener, and we wanted to see if that was true. Apparently, Joanne has already consulted a lawyer. We'll keep you posted.
Let's take a trip across the country and talk to JD. John Davis is in Boulder, Colorado this week, and he's looking at the front pages there. What's up, John?
Well, I'm out here with and there's an article in the paper which is a good example of why you might want to live this life. What's going on in the city? In the Denver Post, outside the Denver County Courthouse, a purse snatcher snatched the purse of a court clerk. Well, a county judge, a female judge, witnessed it and ran after the purse snatcher, and with the help of some bystanders, tackled the purse snatcher and had him arrested. And what's funny is the police chief witnessed the snatching from outside of his office window, so they have some pretty powerful witnesses against this Denver purse snatcher. So I'm going to hang out out here so that, you know, nothing like that happens to me.
Sounds like a job for
maybe
Johnny
a bear.
Cochran.
The criminal genius at work. Yeah.
I've just been told we do have Spencer, who I think is above the water now in High Springs, Florida, where he was doing some underwater cave diving. Spencer, we had some audio difficulties, but it was really dramatic. Yeah. And Laurie was alluding to the difficulty of talking with scuba gear on. How did it feel?
It felt all right, actually. It's a weird sensation to be talking and breathing through your nose underwater. Yeah. And there's a lot involved with scuba diving, much less to be doing live TV.
How much training did you go through this week?
I've been right after the show every day for the past 4 or 5 days.
Wow.
Right in the water up till about 5, 6 o'clock at night. Go to sleep, get up, do the show. You know, but I'm fully certified for cavern and intro to cave, and everyone's been really nice here, and it's just a spectacular sport. But get training and be safe.
Absolutely.
But in the news, the Gainesville Sun says first there's about 20,000 bicycles around the University of Florida, Gainesville, and the first pedestrian was walking, got hit by a bicyclist, and she's okay, everything's fine, but it's just amazing that in 1 square mile there's 20,000 bicyclists of students running around, and it's a good thing there aren't more accidents than there are.
Well, it was a student obsessing about her phone bill, I think. Wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
Thanks, Spencer. You'll be back in the drink in the next hour, will you?
Oh, yeah, right behind me. We're going into the cavern.
Great.
Sounds good.
Gorgeous.
Good that his mom's out of town, not watching today, I think. One of the things going on near us is the U.S. Open tennis tournament in Flushing Meadows, New York. And while we are not there on location, we are giving some tips for you tennis players. I know you play a lot, Laurie, right?
Every day.
And do you regard it as an aerobic activity?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. For some, apparently, they're not getting the full aerobic benefit, and that's where our FX personal trainer, Patricia Moreno, with some of our runway rangers, are going to help you out. Patricia?
Well, that's right, Tom. Look, for Laurie, she may think it's an aerobic workout because she's good at it, and she can keep her game going. But not everybody is at that level, but they still want to play, especially with the U.S. Open going on. They're inspired to get out on the court. So we're going to show you how to make that game a little bit more aerobic. typically with a tennis game, there's a lot of standing around waiting for the ball. You can see Regina and Miriam standing around waiting for the ball. They're not moving a lot. They're not getting their heart rate up. But when we see Ed and Robert playing, even when they're waiting for the ball, even when they're standing around, they're warming up, they're always moving, they're always staying on their toes.
Patricia?
Yeah?
We could send Burt's book down there to get their heart rate up if you'd like.
That would probably do
Right.
it, but it wouldn't be quite the same thing. So that's the key. Always keep moving, no matter what. The second thing is, when you're warming up, when you're rallying, go ahead and hit those balls even if they double bounce. You don't want to just watch them go out. Whoa! Whoa, that was quite a shot.
You're in trouble now.
She hit that cameraman.
Man.
So you know what I mean? You want to, even especially during the warm-up, if the ball double bounces, don't just watch it go out. Again, keep that continuous play going. Now, as you can see also, Regina and Miriam are playing with 1 or 2, maybe 3 balls. Their continuous rally is very short. They're always stopping to have to get the balls. But Ed and Robert have extra balls. They're playing with 6 balls, so each one has plenty of balls in each pocket so that that rally keeps going, even if one of them misses the ball. And this is another tip. If you have more than 3 balls and you get ready to go pick up the ball,
contact your physician.
Go pick up the ball.
What was that?
They're going to get their balls. You can see Regina's kind of walking.
Yeah,
She's taking it easy. She's just kind of sauntering over to find her 1 ball. But we have Ed and Robert. They have 6 balls. They're running to pick up their balls and get them. They're not just standing around, and they're running back in place. Again, with their 6 balls, they can keep their rally continuous. Okay, here's the last one. It's called the lazy rally.
Somebody
We're gonna
owes me
have
a lot of money.
Robert serve to Ed, and when he serves to Ed, he's going to serve directly to his forehand. And when Ed hits the ball back, he can serve it anywhere on the court, and his thing is that he's going to try to get Robert to go all over the court, so Robert's really moving, really going, while Ed doesn't have to move that much. And then you switch positions, and the other one keeps going and going. And so you have continuous playing, continuous movement, but if it goes under a bench, there's really not much you can do, I guess.
What a weenie, he dodged a bench.
So the key is, keep it aerobic. You want to keep your heart rate up. You want to get a good sweat going. If it's really hot, drink lots of water. And enjoy your tennis game and get an aerobic fat-burning workout.
Nice stuff, Patricia. You know, about midway through all of that sound advice, I was regretting sitting next to Burt Ward during the segment.
Hey, I'm just an innocent bystander here.
Keith Carradine's in the Welcome, Keith.
How you doing? What's for breakfast?
You around here. This is Burt Ward.
Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you. This is Laurie Hibberd.
Hi, how are you?
And here's Bob the puppet.
Yo, Bob.
How you doing, Keith? What's up?
Hey, okay, man.
What's up, dude?
Hey.
We're talking to Keith Carradine about his new film coming up in just a couple of minutes. But first, Jim.
Yes. Living the life of a Stone Ager. Mankind's vacations prior to room service. Coming up on Breakfast Time.
Is your collection so colossal, you've run out of space in your place?
Where do you take a shower?
You're not alone. See a different super collector every day on Personal FX, the collectible show, only on FX.
So sweet. So irresistible. A temptation you can't resist. California grapes, the natural snack.
Our dentist gave us a reason to try Arm & Hammer Peroxicare.
More baking soda.
2 out of 3 dentists recommend baking soda for healthy teeth and gums. And Peroxicare has 10 times more than Mentadent, plus peroxide.
For us, it's Arm & Hammer Peroxicare.
Serious care for healthy teeth and gums.
There's something new around every corner and great values around every day.
Doing what's now, doing what's hot.
Doing more.
Going over the side. We're doing flips, doing kicks, doing less work. We're doing more tricks. Doing it right.
You'll find lots of new things that are hot, but it's value that makes them sizzle.
We're doing giggles. We're doing moves. Doing decorations.
Doing ideas.
Doing a lot. Doing our best. Giving all we got.
There's just one place where the big news is always value. J.C. Penney, the value leader.
pack your bags, because FX wants to take you and 3 friends on a totally boss road trip. It's our 2nd annual FX On the Road Sweepstakes, brought to you by Subaru and Seabreeze. Road trip the FX way. White beaches, glittering nightlife, and wild sights. And you in your hot new Subaru. For 1 week, the Breakfast Time roving reporters will be in Miami, Florida, and you can be hanging with them. Yay! All you got to do is send us a postcard to include your name, address, and phone number. On September 18th, the grand prize winner will be randomly selected live on Breakfast Time. We'll fly you and 3 of your friends to Miami for a week-long vacation, where we'll hook you up with a year's lease on a brand new Subaru Impreza Outback. Plus, do Miami right with $1,000 cash spending money in your pocket. Yippee! We're also kicking in a Seabreeze gift pack and an FX sweatshirt for 10 first prize winners. So get that postcard in. Before you know it, you could be doing the Miami scene with FX. The 2nd annual FX On the Road Sweepstakes is brought to you by Subaru, Seabreeze, and FX. On the road every day.
I'm peeling in the darndest places.
It's 2 minutes to the top of the hour. Welcome back to Breakfast Time with Tom, Laurie, Bob the Puppet, and me, Jim. I'm the announcer. And here's Tom and Laurie and Bob and Burt Ward and Keith Carradine.
Joining us this morning for breakfast.
All right. We've got a sex-starved superhero and a psychopath here on the couch with us.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, Keith's new movie is The Tie That Binds, right?
Tie That Binds.
Yeah. Which is also 3 chapters of your book.
Yes.
He
said it, not me. It's the bondage section.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Do you have a word of the
Yes,
day?
I do, Laurie. And do you know anybody who's really cheap, tight-fisted, something like that? Well, frugal is good, but if you push it too far, you become maestro.
Let's see. Frugal. Miserly?
Parsimonious.
Parsimonious, sure.
Parsimonious, and this is taking frugality a bit too far. So like those college kids, call all you want, don't worry about it. Don't be parsimonious, that's the word of the day.
Yeah, somebody will pay the bill, don't worry about it.
Right. Keith, do you camp? Do you go camping at all?
Yeah, I've done a lot of that. I haven't done that much in the last couple of years, but I used to do a lot of it.
You probably take a tent and a sleeping bag and stuff like that, right?
Ordinarily, yeah. Backpacking is, what I've done. Yeah, whatever you can get into a bag, whatever you can carry.
What a wuss.
Bert, you probably just take mirrors.
The reason I say that is we're with a family this morning, the Blankenship family in Boulder, Colorado, and when they go camping, they take nothing. And that's what JD is with them, and they got nothing out there, do they, JD?
That's right, Laurie. You know what they do take is they take their buckskin clothing. They make this by hand, but when they come out into the woods, they don't take a tent, they don't take sleeping bags, and they use their resources out here to provide shelter. Now we have Bart and Robin here, and Robin, you say that what you do is you're constantly devolving, right? Explain that.
We call it devolution. And what we do is take each skill and try to work it down to its simplest form and get it as primitive as possible.
Are we not men?
So that's what we do.
And the thing is that this, by the way, is Tyree, their son, and we have Teal back there sleeping. He's still asleep. Now, Bart, if you will, show us the shelter, because you came out here yesterday, and you really brought nothing as far as shelter other than some skins here. So tell us how you built this.
Skins, we had the stump here, and we dragged some logs over and started piling them up. And then we just kind of made a platform to put all these skins, and we just shingled them on like that. And basically it's a reflector for our fire here. And if it started to rain, we'd pull them in a little bit closer and get underneath and be fine.
And then look at this. How long? It took them about 2 hours, and you could spend up to like 4 or 5 hours making it tight if it was cold or wet, right?
Oh, sure, no problem. Yeah, it would be impervious. And then if the wind would shift, we would just pile on more on this side. And it would be fine.
Look at this, guys. They don't use sleeping bags. They use this grass mat, and then they have skins, and these skins you tanned yourself, right?
Right. Yeah, we tan them in a method called brain tanning, using the animal's brains as a tanning agent. It's all non-toxic and everything.
Glad we missed
And the
that
thing is,
though.
too, they've either killed these or other people offer the skins, right? So if you find a dead animal on your front porch, it's essentially a gift.
That's right, a real nice gift. Unless it's the 3-day-old skunk.
And the thing is, in the wintertime, what they do is you build a ditch and you put hot coals in it and then lay everything on top of that, correct?
Right, it's like an electric blanket. All the heat's just coming out of the ground, and we've been out 25 below like that. Wow. Been just fine.
Wow.
They camped 1 year for almost the entire year. And up here in Boulder, Colorado, it's quite cold. Now look at this. This is tea. They're getting ready to serve some breakfast. I've been screaming for coffee, but they say no, no coffee. And we're going to see how they survive out here and the way that they make their own dishes and provide their own food from what they have surrounding them here in the Rocky Mountains.
Now, John, do they have a home? I mean, is this, you say that 1 year they camped out almost the whole year. They must have a more typical habitat.
They do. They live in the city of Boulder, but they take people out, they take school groups out, and they take them out in camp. So they do live in civilization, but they like to get out and get back to nature and experience that devolution.
Yeah.
That's amazing, because my idea of roughing it is that being at a hotel, room service stops at 10.
If you think that's just a joke.
It's true. You traveled with her, you know.
Burt was wondering where you hang the mirrors.
Incredible.
Wow.
Rain tanning is interesting, but they've been doing that in Malibu for
Yeah.
years.
How was the time, guys?
Oh, we have a little,
Thanks,
it's
John.
fine, John.
Yeah.
We have a little less than an hour left of breakfast time, but we hope you stay right there and join us for it.
I'll bet without even thinking about it, there are lots of things around your hometown and house that just say home to you. And no matter how far away you go or how long you've been away, those same things will bring you back. Not just physically, but on a much deeper level, and say to you soundlessly, welcome back. Welcome back to Breakfast Time with Laurie Hibberd, Tom Bergeron, and Bob the Puppet. My name's Jim, and I'm the announcer to say good morning. Here's Laurie, and Tom, and Bob, and Burt Ward, and Keith Carradine.
Big Star-packed show.
And noted
today.
producer Paul Shaffelson desperately trying to feed me some information or advice during that. Wait, no, take the microphone, yeah, because people want. What were you saying?
This is going to work for a change?
Go ahead. Just
Explain the basics to Paul.
I was saying the guests have not seen the apartment. Maybe you want to walk them around.
I'll take the guests
All right,
around.
you're going to take
Yeah,
care.
because
All right,
we
you do
got
that.
stuff to do.
Laurie's going to take Keith and Burt for a brief tour of the apartment. All right,
See you later.
all right. And I will. That's why he's a producer. Movement. We want movement. We want action.
Yeah.
We want flow.
Kitchen.
Yeah, I do sense another chapter in Burt's book, though.
Yeah, well, that could well be. Oh, my God.
Don't go near the bedroom, Laurie.
Let's welcome our road warriors once again. Spencer doing some underwater diving, for which he has trained all week. He is in High Springs, Florida, at Ginny Springs. Spencer, ready to go in the drink again, right?
Absolutely, and hopefully you'll be able to hear us. Down here is what we were doing before was cave diving. What we're going to do now is called cavern diving. The difference, cavern diving has daylight. So we'll be going in and...
You've been